Most people retiring near Portland automatically rule out entire towns based on price and end up in the wrong place because of it. In this video, I'm breaking down 4 areas I'd actually consider if I were retiring here in 2026. By the end of the video, you'll know exactly which area would be best for you and your family. No commute, no schedule, just walking to the beach on a Tuesday morning. That's the retirement Scarborough is actually selling, and it's why this town comes up in almost every coastal conversation I have with buyers. Scarborough sits about 15 minutes south of Portland with around 25,000 people. Right now, it checks a lot of boxes for retirees. Beach access, newer construction, and proximity to Portland's major medical systems. The housing stock here skews newer than what you're going to find closer to the peninsula and Portland, and that's important when you're thinking about maintenance, energy efficiency, and first floor living options. And the outdoor access here is serious. Scarborough Marsh is Maine's largest saltwater marsh, and it's right there for kayaking, bird watching, and walking. The Eastern Trail runs through town and connects to a broader regional trail network. You've got Scarborough Beach State Park on the top list for local beaches. For retirees who want to stay active, this town delivers year-round options that go way beyond just sitting on the sand. You're 15 minutes from Portland, but that also means you're only 15 minutes from Maine Medical Center, a 929-bed level 1 trauma center with full cardiovascular institute, cancer care, and Dana-Farber collaboration, and specialist access that most small cities don't even have. The proximity is more crucial in retirement than most people think when they're shopping. By the way, South Portland sits just 5 minutes from that same hospital at a price point that'll make you do a double take. We'll get there though. But let's continue talking about Scarborough for now. Let's talk price. Homes in Scarborough are selling in the mid 400s to high 600s right now on average, depending on location and proximity to the coast. That's a pretty wide range, and the coastal side pushes the price significantly higher. The inventory here tends to run lighter than the national average, with seasonal fluctuations, especially in the spring and summer. I see buyers get caught off guard by that every single year. But here's what you need to watch. Coastal flood zones are a real consideration in Scarborough, with FEMA designations in beach-adjacent areas that can push your insurance costs up quite significantly. The property tax rate sits at $11.33 per 1,000 of assessed value, which is on the lower end of this group if you can believe it. But coastal insurance can make up for the difference fast, and beach area pricing can push budgets quickly. Scarborough is a strong option if the budget allows and you want newer homes with proximity to water and Portland healthcare. But if the price point or the flood zone is a concern, the next town on this list is a totally different conversation entirely. Now, if you're watching this and thinking about retiring near Portland, and you want someone to help you figure out which one of these towns fits your next chapter, my contact info is in the description down below. Reach out and let's talk through what makes sense for your situation. Okay, back to the video. Most buyers completely overlook Gorham, but it's actually the town that makes the most financial sense for a lot of retirees once they run the numbers. It's a 20 to 25 minute drive from Portland with a population of around 18,500. Here you get more land, quieter neighborhoods, and newer subdivisions built with retirement living in mind. Think first floor primary bedrooms, open layouts, attached garages, the stuff that makes day-to-day life genuinely easier as you get older. And compared to coastal towns, Gorham has real inventory, more land and more new builds than you'll find in the Portland area, so you're not constantly fighting over the same handful of listings. And keep that inventory picture in mind, because when we get to Falmouth, limited supply on single level homes creates completely different buying dynamic that you need to be prepared for. Now, what most people don't realize about Gorham is that the University of Southern Maine has a campus right there. That matters for retirement in ways people don't think of right away. Continuing education programs, cultural events, lectures, and athletic facilities that are open to the community. It adds a nice layer of intellectual energy to the town that otherwise has a quiet residential feel. The Greater Portland Metro bus system also serves Gorham with connections into Portland, so you have transit options even if you're not always driving. That said, the reality is that most daily life here requires a car, and that's something you should not gloss over. Prices in Gorham are sitting in the low to mid 500s, a meaningful step down from Scarborough or Falmouth. The property tax rate runs $14.80 per thousand, higher than Scarborough, so make sure you factor that into your monthly budget. But for a lot of retirees on a fixed budget, the overall price difference is a whole different ballgame. And here's what you need to watch. Gorham requires more driving. There's no way around it. There's very few walkable commercial areas compared to coastal towns or the peninsula of Portland. If you're imagining a retirement where you can walk to get coffee or run errands on foot, Gorham is not going to give you that. And I see this every single day. Buyers get caught with the space and the price, but 6 months later, they're frustrated by how car-dependent that lifestyle is. So yeah, if space, newer construction homes, and lower density are your priority, Gorham will deliver. But if walkability or coastal access matters, it won't. South Portland is where the balance actually exists. Just 5 minutes from Maine Medical Center with prices below the Portland Peninsula and a walkable waterfront. That combination is why South Portland keeps rising to the top of this conversation. This area sits directly across from the Fore River in Portland with around 26,500 people. It's got direct bridge access to the city. We're talking a 5 to 10 minute drive to downtown, Maine Medical Center, Northern Lights Mercy at the Fore River campus, and you've got shopping, waterfront, you name it. For retirees, healthcare access isn't a nice to have, but a core requirement. What that means is you're within 10 minutes of a 929-bed level 1 trauma center, which we talked about earlier. This hospital has dedicated geriatric care and a full network of specialists, including the Maine Medical Center Cardiovascular Institute, which we spoke about earlier. That kind of access at this price point is very, very challenging to find anywhere else in the market. The walkability here is pretty great too. The Greenbelt Walkway runs over 5.5 miles through the city. You have paved, maintained, year-round trail access. Willard Beach gives you a legit sandy beach less than a mile from most residential neighborhoods. Bug-like Park sits on the waterfront with views of the harbor and Casco Bay. But these aren't just amenities on a marketing sheet, but they're places people actually use every day. The housing stock is also well suited for retirement. You've got a really solid mix of ranch-style homes on single levels, manageable lots with public sewer and public water in most areas, alongside smaller properties that just don't carry the maintenance burden of a larger coastal estate. Prices here come in slightly below the peninsula pricing. Starter homes will be in the high 400s to low $500,000 range. Moderate inventory means you do have some real options without the frantic pace of peak sellers market. And when you compare that to Portland's current median in the high to mid 500s and climbing, South Portland's value proposition is pretty hard to beat. Now here's what to watch. Certain areas near the coast may carry flood insurance and have higher insurance costs because of the zone exposure. And you also have some older housing stock here that may need updates, so you need to budget for that and do your inspection work carefully. I see buyers get surprised by older ranch homes that haven't been touched in 20 years. Don't be one of them. The property tax rate sits at $13.65 per 1,000, which is pretty balanced if you think about it. Close to everything without paying full peninsula pricing. Now, let's look at what the premium end of this market actually costs. Historically stable, established neighborhoods with limited inventory, especially on single-level homes that retirees actually need. That's Falmouth in a few sentences, and each one of those factors directly impacts how you need to approach buying here. Falmouth is about 10 to 15 minutes north of Portland on I-295 with a population of around 12,000. It's actually close to 95 if you do any traveling. These are neighborhoods that have held their value through multiple market cycles, historically one of the most stable real estate markets in Greater Portland. And that stability is huge when you're thinking about long-term retirement planning. Portland's healthcare systems are just 10 to 15 minutes away as well. The lifestyle infrastructure here is very strong for retirees. Falmouth has multiple private golf clubs, yacht clubs, over 50 miles of trails and conservation land, and access to Casco Bay. The town also has a reassurance program specifically for seniors living alone. A dedicated check-in service runs through the town itself. That's not something you're going to find everywhere, and for retirees moving here without existing local support networks, that's very special. The conservation land here is also a very big deal. Falmouth has protected large tracts of natural space, which means the character of these established neighborhoods is unlikely to change dramatically over time. That's part of what drives the long-term value stability this town is known for. Right now, homes in Falmouth are in the high 800s to over the $1.5 million range, with many properties pushing well above that depending on size and location. Now that's a serious entry point. And inventory, well, it's limited, especially for single-level homes, which are exactly what most retirees need. When the right property hits the market here, it moves. I see this play out time and time again, and buyers who aren't prepared lose out to those who are. Now here's what to watch. The higher entry point is the main hurdle, and limited inventory on single-level homes means real competition when the right property pops up. You need to be pre-approved and ready to act. And that's not a sales pitch, it's just the reality of the market right now. The property tax rate is $13.85 per thousand. This is a great choice for buyers prioritizing proximity, established neighborhoods, and long-term stability if the entry price fits your budget. The right town isn't the one with the best beaches or the lowest price, but the one where the trade-offs actually match how you want to live. Get the decision right, and everything else falls into place. If you're seriously considering retiring near Portland and want to talk through which of these towns fit your specific situation, email me, which is on the screen right now. I work with buyers making this exact move right now and can walk you through what's actually available. Let's figure out your next chapter before the right properties are gone. If you've been watching this video and wondering what the top end of Maine's market actually looks like, I've got a video linked right here that breaks down the luxury corridors from Scarborough's low million entry points all the way to Kennebunkport Estates, trading at the $12 million plus price point. Check it out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.